Hi everyone. One of the things I find that I do best or I enjoy the most is hanging out with young people. Makes me feel young. I don't have any delusions about how old I am, but I've determined in my heart that I'm going to act young in my approach to life. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to have passion. I'm going to engage. And one of the things I've been finding lately as I spend time with young people is that there's a real desire to do something outside the box. I want to encourage you to really look at that. There's always going to be a price to pay. One of the things that people often say about me is, I never thought I could do it until I got done talking with you. Well, this is what I think. I think the Lord wants you to be all that you can be. I haven't fully developed this thought process in my mind, but over the last week or so, the Lord spoke to me in a dream, and which is where some of this is coming from. And in the dream, He said, "How big do you think I am, Lee? How big?" Well, the scriptures tell us that the Lord holds everything within His hands. Everything is within Him. Everything that we have. And I started thinking about that. That the Christ that I know and love operates in my heart. And the same one who controls so much of the universe and puts things in motion is the very one that's developed within us. It is part of what we do. Somebody said to me the other day, "What do I do?" I think that the biggest thing that a young person has to be willing to do is to take the first step. I'm a strong believer in Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I believe in the multi-generation. I tell my children and I tell my spiritual children all the time that if you want to get better at what you do and you want to enjoy the grace that's upon your life and embrace that in its fullness, then plug in with someone older than you. Plug in with someone younger than you. One of the things that happens to me all the time, today I was in the grocery store and I found myself talking to lots of little old ladies. And it was just pleasant exchanges. And even as I watched them shop, and I saw the way they think. Now some of these people, they don't have lots of money, so they're thinking based on a small amount of money. But if you watch them, there's a devotion to doing what they can. One of the women that came alongside, she had this turkey. It must have weighed 25, 30 pounds. And she threw it up on the register belt, and she said, "I am so glad I don't have to take this in and out of the oven." But her heart, as I looked, I realized that a lot of my shopping cart reflected what was in hers. So we come upon the holidays. It had, the poultry and the main meal, and it had the nuts and those kind of things. But I also understood as I looked that she was buying things that had value, and that she knew how to save money. On the other hand, I go shopping sometimes and I see people that are younger than me, and I watch the way they buy, and they buy in such a frenzied way sometimes that they just want to get it all on the counter and get out of there. I think one of the things that the Lord is steering me towards for 2012 is to glean more information from those that are older than me and to give away that information to those that are younger than me. So much of what I do is little about what I do and so much about what I've gleaned from others. I want to encourage you that if you're a young person today, whatever that means to you, that could mean you're 20, it could mean you're 30, it could mean you're 50. You really need to find somebody or somebodies and be willing to go to them in humility and take the deposits that this older generation has, this generation of Abraham, the generation that went before us, the battles that have gone before in their lives. We so frequently use the statement that my ceiling is their floor, meaning that they can step onto what I've done. The only way we get to step onto what a previous generation has done is if we recognize that previous generation is being built on the foundation of Christ and acting as a foundation for us in the coming days. I'm very encouraged in so many of these young people that as we have conversation, they come to me as an older one, but I also see that they're figuring out that sowing into younger people has value. This is Christmas time, and we sow a lot of things, but I think one of the biggest things we're going to be seeing in the coming days, and I've mentioned it before, is we're going to have value in our lives, and we need to be willing to sow that value into other lives. I shared about giving the other day, and people have called me and they've written me and they said, this means so much to me. I believe we're coming into a time of phenomenal giving. I've set some standards in my own life for the year 2012 that have to do with these things. That is, certain things happen, certain things will happen on my end. As these things happen on one side of my life, I take those things and I reel them in, and I take them and I put them out somewhere else. We are in the middle of an amazing time of transition. Transition is a frightening thing. It's an exciting thing. The one thing I've learned about transition is so often we do not get to take into the next phase what we got out of the last phase. There's some shedding of things. There's some releasing of things that have held us back because sometimes the tunnel to get to the new place is smaller. We need to be willing to shed those things and embrace those things. For many of us, it comes down to, it's not all about me. It's about a coming generation. It's not all about what I know. It's about what a generation before has done. And if we want that generation that's gone before us to truly be our floor, then we need to respect what they've done for us and what they've given us. And when we respect that, we get to build upon that foundation. Often it means we don't have to do some of the same battles they did. And another generation is coming up behind us. We need to sow as much as we can into that generation. This will never be about a single generation. This is about generations that have gone before and generations that will come after us. So consider that. And let me know what you think. Let me know. I find a lot of people are saying, the Lord's speaking similar things to me. So God bless you. Think lots about this. Put it into practice in your own life if you haven't yet. And just give praise to God for what He's doing in your life. God bless you.